What's going on? Welcome to the weekly axe kicking. Today we're going to learn how to play the solo to the Foo Fighters' Stranger Things Have Happened. Standard tuning, acoustic guitar solo. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to start this out by me playing the guitar solo along with the recording, and after that we're going to do a part-by-part breakdown. So I'm going to start this a few bars before the solo, and here we go. 3, 4. Alright, so just like we did last week with Metallica's Unforgiven 2 solo, we're going to listen to little bits of the solo, dissect it, then move on to the next little bit. And once again, this is a great way to practice it. Rather than consume the whole thing as a whole, take little bites and then slowly put those parts together. So here's the first part. We're going to start a few bars before. Alright, here we go. Alright, so we have dyads going on here, 2 notes at a time. We're going to be doing an F sharp and a B. That's the 11th fret of the 3rd string and the 12th fret of the 2nd string. So my 1st and 2nd finger covering those notes. Just playing those notes together. And then, pinky fingers covering the A, 14th fret of the 3rd string. Then let the pinky finger back off. Then the pinky finger is going to go ahead and play the E on the 4th string. That's the 14th fret. So that whole part played slowly. Alright, let's hear the next little segment of the solo. Okay, now we are going into triads. We're going to start this part off by shifting a dyad, which is going to be, we're going to start at we got an F on the 3rd fret, on the 3rd string, 10th fret, and a G sharp, 9th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to start there and shift 1/2 step up, like that. And then we're going to quickly assemble a triad out of this by covering the C sharp, 9th fret of the 1st string with our 1st finger. So here's what we got. Okay, and then we're going to start plucking this triad. And now we're going to add the E on the 12th fret of the 1st string with our 4th finger. Then let it back off. So here's that whole part played slow. Alright, let's listen to this next part. Alright, now we've got a E major triad going on here. 9th fret of the 3rd string with our 2nd finger. G sharp on the 2nd string, that's the 9th fret. And your 1st finger is doing like a 2 fret bar on the 7th fret of the 1st and 2nd string. And we're just kind of plucking that triad a couple times. So I guess 3 times total. Then your pinky finger adds on to the A, 10th fret of the 2nd string. Let it off. Let your 3rd finger off so that this bar we just talked about is fretting down the F sharp and the B. And then add the 3rd finger back on to the 9th fret of the 2nd string. So here's that whole part played slowly. here is that entire first part of the solo put together, slowly. Alright, so let's move on here with the next part of the solo. Here we go. Alright, now we've got a triad, and it's pretty cool. We got, it's basically an inverted B minor chord, meaning that it's a B minor chord, but the fifth of that chord, the F sharp, is in the bass. So second inversion. We have an F sharp here, 11th fret, 3rd string, 2nd finger. B, 12th fret, 2nd string, 3rd finger. D, 10th fret, 1st string, 1st finger. So we pluck that a few times. And then add the pinky finger on the E, 12th fret of the 1st string. Take it off. So here's that whole part played slow. Okay, next part. Now we're going to basically just do switch these two fingers around. We have another triad. So the F sharp remains on bottom, and then the A, 10th fret, the 2nd string, and then E, 12th fret of the 1st string. Hit that a few times. Now add the pinky on the F sharp of the 1st string, that's the 14th fret. Take the pinky back off, and here's that part played slow. Next part. Another triad. This is an E major triad, 1st inversion, meaning the G sharp note is on the bottom. So we're going to form it here, 13th fret, 2nd finger, 3rd string. And then the 1st finger is going to do a 2 fret bar on the 12th fret of the B and E. So that's the 12th fret of the 2nd and 1st strings. Hit that a few times. Add your 3rd finger on the F sharp, it's the 14th fret of the 1st string. Take that 3rd finger off. Now we're going to add the pinky on the 15th fret, the D of the 2nd string. Take it off. Add it back on. Take it off. And here is that whole part played slowly. Okay, and here's that entire second portion of the solo put together. All right, moving right along here with the beginning of the third portion of the solo. Here we go. Okay, we're going to have a shifting dyad here. It's going to start the 2nd and 3rd strings in F, 10th fret of the 3rd string, G sharp, 9th fret of the 2nd string. We're going to shift that up a half step. Okay, just like that. Now we're going to take the note on the 3rd string, the F sharp, slide it down 2 frets to the E, and then a little dyad on the 7th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings, and then back to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, that E with our 3rd finger. So here's that whole part played slow. And here's the next part. Okay, so start with this dyad on the 7th fret, 2nd and 3rd strings, then the E on the 3rd string, dyad on the 7th fret, 1st and 2nd strings, then back to the E on the 3rd string, then the 2-string dyad on the 7th fret, 2nd and 3rd string. So here's that part played slow. Okay, here's the next part. Okay, so this is going to start with a pull off from the 9th to the 7th fret on the 4th string. That's the B to the A. Then the F sharp on the 9th fret of the 5th string. Then we're going to climb back up, hammer on the 7th fret to the 9th fret of the 4th string. And then we have a little series of notes here based on a B minor pentatonic. B, A, B, A. That's the 9th to the 7th fret, 9th to the 7th fret on the 4th string. And then the F sharp on the 5th string. Then the E on the 5th string. Slide this down 2 frets to the D on the 5th fret of the 5th string. And then the riff, or this part of the solo, concludes on the E 7th fret. Let's take a look at this part played slowly. Good. And here's that entire third portion of the solo played together. Alright, and here's the last part of the solo. It's a really cool B minor pentatonic run. Let's take a listen. Alright, so let's just go ahead and break this whole part down nice and slowly, because it's definitely a little step above difficulty-wise than the rest of the solo. B minor pentatonic. I assume most of you out there know your basic box form minor pentatonic scale and fingering. So we're in the 7th position, like I said, B minor. We're going to start with a pull off. We're going to go down 4 notes, starting with a pull off 10th to the 7th fret, the D to the B on the 1st string, and then go down the next 2 notes to the A and the F sharp. So then we're going to go to the B on the 1st string, 7th fret, pull off 10th fret to the 7th fret, A to the F sharp on the 2nd string, and then the E on the 1st string. I'm sorry, the E on the 3rd string, 9th fret. So let's put those 2 parts together. Then we're going to do the 7th fret of the 2nd string, this F sharp note. Keep going down the minor pentatonic scale, pull off from the 9th to the 7th fret on the 3rd string, the E to the D. Then the 9th fret of the 4th string. So, and then kind of roll the 3rd finger back here to the 9th fret of the 3rd string, the E. Pull off to the D. Go down the next 2 notes. 4th string, B, then A. So let's take a look at those next 2 parts. And the whole thing together so far. Alright, so this next part's going to involve a shift coming up. What we're going to do is, it's on the, we're on the B, 9th fret of the 4th string, hit it twice, and then pulled off to the A the 2nd time. And then we're going to go F sharp on the 5th string back to the A. So far we've got. Now we're going to do a pull off from the F sharp to the E on the 5th string. Slide this note down to the D, okay? And then we're going to do a hammer on, a pull off from this E back to this D. So we've got a, Now we're going to do a quick up and down bend on the E here. Pull off to the D, then we're going to play the B on the 6th string, and then a hammer on from the D to the E on the 5th string. So. Now we're gonna take it to the 4th string here on the F sharp, the 1st finger, then the G sharp, 6th fret, 3rd finger, little trill from the G sharp to the A bet to the G sharp, then the F sharp. So we got a, and then finally we slide from the A to the B with our pinky finger, 7th to the 9th fret. And repeat that note a few times. Slide it out. So here's that entire 4th portion of the solo, played slowly. Alright, and here is the entire solo, played slow. And here's the entire solo played up to speed. Alright, so there you have it, the Foo Fighters' Stranger Things Have Happened guitar solo. What's really cool about that solo is that it's divided into 4 very distinguishable parts. And within those parts, you know, what we basically did was make even smaller parts. For the most part, we took like the first big section and broke it down into 3 different parts to practice, put all those parts together, and that formed the first big section. I hope I said that in a way that makes a little bit of sense. But you know, the basis of it is, like we were talking about last week, breaking things down, you know, in a very considerably breaking them down, so that the whole solo becomes easier to digest and easier to learn. It's a time-tested approach that continues to work for me throughout the years, and I just couldn't recommend it enough. In the meantime, keep the requests coming. I really appreciate it. One thing to keep in mind, though, when you're making a request is, you know, like I had someone asking about Bark at the Moon and Stranglehold. Those are 2 very popular, pretty iconic guitar solos. So, and there's been a lot of stuff done on those already, so it shouldn't be too difficult to, you know, find some resources to learn that solo. Keep keeping that in mind, though, that being said, if you've come across something like, say, a really popular guitar solo, such as Bark at the Moon or whatever, and you found that whatever online tutorial you found is not working quite well or isn't very clear or whatever, then I'd be happy to approach it. But like I said, keep the requests coming, and it helps me out a lot. This Foo Fighters solo, was a request that we got messaged about. So and I never even heard the song before, and it's a great tune. So it's really cool for me to kind of get into some new music, new tunes, new guitar solos that way, and learn them, present them to you, and hopefully everybody's happy. In the meantime, thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week.